going on? Welcome back to another episode of Didn't Wait podcast. I think it's gonna be a cool one. Oh man, the sun is in my eyes right now, but it's all good. Sun's in my eyes. I got a big window right here, but it's gonna be a cool conversation. I haven't did a lot of podcasts in a while. I think this is my first one in about a month. So
Oh,
um,
nice.
yeah. So um, I got a cool guest on today. His name is Troy Horne. And I'm excited to get to know a little bit about Troy and for y'all to get to know him a little bit. And so welcome to the podcast, Troy.
Man, Lucas, thank you for having me, man. This is cool. I'm excited. This will be fun.
Yes, sir, man. I seen your profile and I was like, this is a guy that I want to talk to. I think we have a cool conversation today. So,
Cool, cool.
so
Yeah,
Troy, tell me where you from.
man. Originally, I'm from Houston, Texas. And
Cool.
that's where I grew up. That's where all the formative years, as they say, happened. So, Houston, Texas.
So where you at now?
I'm in Colorado now, so it's a big
Colorado.
transition from it's a big transition from Houston to Colorado. You know what's funny, man? It's like I guess you get to see all different parts of the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
Colorado's cool.
How was that? What you say? Get to see all the parts of the world. What is your favorite part of the world?
My favorite part of the world right now has been Japan. Japan has been great.
Japan.
I need to still get to Ghana and I need to get to Kenya and get on the African continent. But right now, my favorite part has been Japan. Yeah.
Cool. That's cool. I have an uncle now that's in Japan. I think he's in Nagoya. I had two uncles over there. They're musicians. One of
Yeah.
my uncles just recently passed away within the last couple months, but he had been over there for a long time as well. But yeah, in Nagoya, my uncle's a musician, plays the drums and things like that. My other uncle that just passed played the guitar. Um, Very good musicians, man. So I'm sad I didn't really get to see him play live and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah, so Japan is cool. I would love to go to Japan and hang out.
Yeah. The thing I love about it is it's like the rules are the rules, and
Mhm.
we just do what we're supposed to do. So so that was my experience. I don't know if that's everybody's experience, but that was my experience.
When I had my brother, he was in the Navy, and his first station, he was in Japan too, and he talked about the rules and stuff, like having rules of being over there and stuff like that. So I get that. So you're in Colorado now. So let me get my thoughts in order because I'm excited about the interview because you did a lot of things that I want to talk about. So let me give me a fun fact about childhood, like a little fun fact if you don't mind.
One fun fact for me was um, during the summer we were kids in the late '80s, early '90s,
Okay.
and both my parents had to work, so they were at work, and during the summer we were at home, fixing our own breakfast, lunch, and whatever dinner while parents were at work. That is what we did. And I'll never forget the Facts of Life came on. I know I'm dating
Mm-hmm.
myself right now, but Facts of Life came on, and they had this show about latchkey kids, and it was like
Mm.
all this dramatic music about how this kid had to go home by themselves after school and let themselves in, and Miss Garrett and all of them were so worried about this kid. No one's there to welcome her when she gets home, and blah, all this other stuff. And I remember watching that whole episode, and at the end, I was like, I looked at my sister and say, "Wait a minute, we're latchkey kids."
Yeah.
It was just a moment of like, how media can make you think something is like the worst thing ever, and you're living the life, and it's like, come on, man, this is
I,
like,
yeah, I think me and my brother were last. I'm the oldest of five, but I'm 40, he's 38, followed by like
mm-hmm.
my mom got remarried, so I have a 25, 24, 23-year-old brother. So me and my brother grew up, and we were we were latchkey kids, but that made for a good childhood though, man.
And
I,
those are some of the best. That was amazing.
yeah,
So that's why I was like, when we were watching that stuff, and they were like, all the sad music and all the
yeah.
the worried looks. I'm like, come on, man. So
Nah, we
it was a
good. We
great
knew how
time.
to take we knew how to take care of ourselves.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
think.
And you learned a lot. You
Yeah.
learned a lot. Yes.
hmm Yeah. So it's
Yes.
like I think I don't know how old you are, but I think that generation probably one of the best generations, the last generations
Yeah.
of that part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm
Um,
51. So yeah,
50,
man, for me, yeah, I was like, man, that was some of the best stuff to learn how to navigate life, in a safe environment because you're at your house,
mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
and how to
Yeah.
like. So, anyways, that was
So
great.
I know like we had to go in the house and stay in the house. We couldn't go outside. But once we got to a certain age, we were allowed to go leave the house and get in there and leave out. And I always joke and say, man, I don't think I remember seeing my mom but 4 times in my high school life. We were
I
always
saw my
out.
parents on the weekends, right? I saw them on the weekends and in the evenings for for dinner.
hmm
But yeah, it's like, yeah, man.
So how does that mold your life going into adulthood? Like, let's talk about like high school and transition into adult life.
You know, honestly, Lucas, man, I don't know about for everyone. For me, that was like some of the best gifts they could have given me. Obviously, I knew my
hmm
parents loved me. I knew they wanted to care. They took care of me, and we had a place to live. We had food to eat. We had clothes on our back, as they say, whatever else. But because I had to figure it out, I learned
hmm
how to figure it out. So when I'm out, when I grew to
Yeah.
be an adult, it was like I went to LA. Listen, it's like I went to LA because I wanted to be a musician.
Okay.
I couldn't play guitar.
Mm.
I didn't know anybody. I had never written a song. And I was going to stay with my cousin who was kind of in the industry, but because
hmm
he was adopting um, a daughter,
Okay.
he said, you got to move out. And I'd only been there for a month.
hmm
So I'm moving to LA, got asked to move out after a month because their social worker said, you can't have someone else living here while you're in this process.
Wow.
I had $1,500 to my name and I
Mm.
made it work.
Yeah.
So that figuring it out, it's like that was the biggest gift ever my parents could
For
give me. Is
sure.
like figure it out.
For sure. I like that. So you're in LA. Is that like a childhood dream to be a musician, or just like one day you're like, you know what, I'm be a musician?
No, no, no. It was a childhood dream, and it's like everybody was saying, "Hey, the odds of this and the odds of that, and the probabilities of this and that and the other thing." I ended up getting a record deal. I ended up having my music in film and television. I
Okay.
wrote music for the Pac documentary. I ended up going to Japan and playing music there. I did Broadway. It's like, and this is from a kid who didn't know nothing from nobody. So that's what I'm saying.
hmm
When people come up with all these limitations and probabilities, I'm like, man, if you want something, you need to go figure it
Go figure it out. I think that's gonna be our podcast title today. Go figure it
out.
out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lesson. That's a sermon right there, man. Go figure it out.
And it's not
So
gonna be easy. It's gonna look like failure a
mhm.
lot. Yeah.
But if you learning from them things fall through and things like that, you learn, all right, this is how I got to do it next time, or don't do this. Like, it's not necessarily failure. I mean, I'm not telling. I'm speaking to the choir right now, preaching to the choir right
Yeah.
now. But you know, so what you musician like? Do you play music? You just sing, or you just do you play instruments?
I sing and I play a little guitar now. I learned on the job, as they say.
Learn on the job, yes sir.
But I do
I play
sing, yes.
I play a little bit. I play a little bass guitar.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
which I'm in a wheelchair, so
Mm.
sometimes it gets kind of hard to play. Nowadays, like I wouldn't want to pursue it too much because I couldn't sit on the stage all day. Like my fingers would probably be tired and things like that,
Mm.
and I would have to. I couldn't play the way I wanted to. I would have to really play in the pocket because I was like have to like keep my energy up. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but I still enjoy it. I have well, I got two basses in here. A buddy of mine let me borrow one of his nice basses, so
Nice.
so I play often, and I try to make beats and things like that. But I'm trying to keep that. On my mother's side, it's a lot of musicians on that side, so I
Oh,
try to
yeah, because
keep
you
that.
said somewhere like not in different countries and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling you before we start recording. I have two uncles. You know, one recently passed away, but I had two uncles in Japan that were musicians. So try to keep that alive in me. You know, I don't pursue it full time, but I enjoy it. It's a hobby of mine, and when I'm stressed out or something like that, I can go and play and you know put a record on and try to play to it or learn something or learn a new lick or something. Like
Yeah.
I get on there and learn a song or something like that sometimes. And it's stressful, but it's cool. It's cool for me. Like it takes my mind off of other things. So you've been, man. That's what's up. So when did you move to California, to LA?
It was like what, 96, 97. It's been a minute. Like, yeah, but I
Okay.
moved there in 96, 97. And funny story, after my first job was in music.
Okay.
And after that, I needed a job to kind of sustain while I was trying to find another gig. And I ended up working at this place called Adept Consumer Testing. I will never forget this place. It was like, because I was used to doing like the calls and surveys and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
You're never gonna believe who one of my friends that we became close friends working there was. You know Octavia Spencer? She's in
I
The Help,
don't.
and she's in The Help. She's in Ma. She's in like she's got an
Oh, okay.
Academy Oscar Award.
Okay.
We were working there as struggling musicians in the very beginning back then, and
Wow.
it's so great to like know that like that. It's kind of crazy to think we were both kind of in this space of just figuring it out. You know,
Figuring this. Yeah. And that's cool. Like to know people that just grind it out, and then to see the career, have a great career, but at the beginning be struggling, and like it's a beautiful thing to see that. There's beauty in the struggle. Like, I got a tattoo, say beauty in the struggle, because that's how you find yourself. That's how you figure out who you are, like how strong you are.
yes.
If you get, you know what I'm saying. So like, I love that.
Everyone's brave when there's no problems.
Hmm.
Everyone's got all the quotes, they got all the sayings, they got all the motivation. And when there are no problems, when the problems come, then we find out who we got
For
for
sure.
real. And
For sure.
that's, like you said, that's the gold right there. Yeah.
So, what was your big kind of break in the music industry?
You know, getting a record deal and touring with my band was like a really one of the first big breaks. There've been a lot of little things along the way. Having music placed in the documentary was really cool. Having Quincy Jones kind of say, "Hey, I like your
Hmm.
music" and stuff like that was kind of cool. Performing on Broadway obviously was very cool.
Yeah, we gonna get to that because yeah, I want to get to that too. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and then like it's just been like what's funny about it is we were blessed to interview a lot of NBA guys and gals, WNBA and NFL guys and gals on the podcast that I did with my
Yeah.
son.
Okay.
And what's interesting about that, they all say the journey is the destination. And I can tell
Mm.
you from my experience, the journey is 100% the destination. We always think, hey, I can't wait till I get whatever your goal is, whatever this
Mm.
thing is that you think is the big thing that you want. Every time I've gotten those things, I've been like, man, I miss, the struggle. I miss the work it took to get here. I miss not knowing if we were going to get, I mean, you get there and you enjoy getting there,
Yeah, for sure.
but that enjoyment doesn't last as long as you think. What is the
Hmm.
best part is the struggle and the journey to get
I like that a lot. So you got to talk to a lot of NBA, WNBA players, NFL players. Who is there? Somebody right now that you interviewed that you could think of that was profound, like left an impact on your life?
there. Yeah, I'd be Kobe Bryant was the one that for us when we talked with him, it was just like,
Oh, cool.
yeah, that dude, man. It was what was great about it was like you could hear the Mamba in him, but you could also hear the father in him because his kids were around when we were talking,
Mm-hmm.
and he would switch it, man. He would like he would be like in like with that energy, and
Mm-hmm.
then when his girls would come around, he would soften up. It was just like it was really cool to see how he was able to shift between those two people or however many people he needed to be to get where he needed to go.
That's cool. I'm a little jealous of you right now. I would love to. I would have loved to interview Kobe Bean Bryant.
Kobe Bean. Man, man, that was a blessing. It was and that was a lesson
Mm-hmm.
in asking for what you want because
Mm-hmm.
we did that podcast and his publicist or whatever reached out to us because we were doing well. We were shooting up the charts in podcast for because we were the only dad and son doing the podcast, doing a podcast for
Okay. Mm-hmm.
sports. His publicist reached out to us and said he's coming out with a new book series called the Wisnard series, and we'd love to have his editor or publicist or something like that do an interview with you guys and talk about the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I know my audience and I want to serve them more than anything else. And talking to an editor wouldn't really serve them. But we'd love to talk to Kobe if he'd be up for it. And she's like, I don't know if he'd be up. And I go, well, great. So that's fine. But I really appreciate you reaching out. But that's the only really way we would like to do that interview is if he wants to do it. So let us know what you think. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Yeah,
A week
I
later.
think. Yeah, I think at the end, I don't want to cut you off, but I think that
No, you're good. Yeah.
that's cool to stand your ground. Like it's Kobe's book. It's not his editor's book. Only Kobe can speak to what Kobe's going through, what Kobe meant in the book. So it's like we get that. That's cool, but like I want Kobe. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. And because of that, he a week later she wrote, she said he can do this time or that time. Can you do it? And I'm like, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But most people would have said, oh, great, well, whatever. And life is too short, man, for you not to ask and get what you want. So
Yeah,
if anybody gets anything from that, it's like ask for what you want because if it's meant for you, it's coming to you. So ask.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Are you a sports guy? You watch a lot of sports?
Kind of. Some. My son is a sports guy, which is why I was into the whole thing, which is why we were doing it. Because
Yeah.
but I like sports.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
interesting thing about that stuff is but that mindset stuff is it's really for anything and everything.
For sure.
Understanding. Yeah.
Very universal. Like the mindset, it doesn't matter if it's sports or not. It's universal. It's applied to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So, because you can have that mama mentality in your industry, it make it look a little different, but it's still the same thing.
It's the same thing.
That's what's up, man. So you've done a little acting, man. Let me. How did you get into acting?
It was another story of
Mm-hmm.
saying, what do I want? And then demanding or standing my ground for what I want. I was doing some musical stuff like shows and stuff like that, working full time at Disney, doing like entertainment and stuff like that
Okay.
down in Anaheim, California. And I just never saw my wife and kids because I was turning to my mom and dad, right? It's
Yeah.
like I got the hour commute down,
Mm-hmm.
hour commute back, see my kid for maybe an hour after daycare, see my wife an hour after daycare, and then some on the weekends we spend together. And I was like, I want more than this. I want to
Mm-hmm.
see my family more.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an audition for the show Rent. Wasn't really familiar with it at the time. I
Mm-hmm.
went down, auditioned for it, and they offered me the tour. And I said, I don't want to do the tour because that's less time with my family. So if you have something that sits down, I'd love to do that. And she goes, the only thing we have sit down is the Broadway show. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
great. So if it doesn't open on the Broadway show, then I'll do that. But otherwise, I think I'm going to pass. She's like, okay.
Yeah. I just had the question I wanted it, but you know, how old were you when you started to do this and when you started like? I know obviously family's important, but when you say like, it goes to a point where it's like I'm working, but my family's like, not that it's not important. The family's always important, but what is like, dang, I'm missing out on my family. Like, time is all we have, and sometimes we so focused on our accolades and achievements and stuff like we miss out on family. So like, when do you start to really focus on like, yeah, it matters, but my family matters more.
You know, man, you got me like starting to well up and stuff like that from when I started losing family, man. When I started losing family. When I started losing, uncles, aunties, cousins that I cared
Mm-hmm.
about. I was like, it's like, okay, so you can do all this stuff, but you just missed whoever. You didn't get to
Mm-hmm.
go. It didn't have that time. You were supposed to do whatever with, cousins, uncle, whatever, and you don't have the opportunity anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point you gonna? Oh, and what's funny, man, you realize that stuff is stuff. It's
Yeah.
like it's fun to
Mm-hmm.
have, but when you are sitting there in your final moments, and I've had moments where I was like just feeling really sick, like where I was like, is this it? The last thing you're gonna think about is, man, I'm glad I got that car, or man, I'm glad I got that whatever. That is the last thing you're gonna think about. The first thing you're gonna think about is all the things that you told yourself that you were gonna do that you didn't do.
Yeah.
So all that to say, man, for me, it was like when I started losing people in my life, it was like at some point you might want to do the things you want to do.
Yeah.
Because none of us knows when we all think we got like years. We don't know if we have the next 5 minutes.
For sure.
So
For sure. I'm a person that thinks like that. Even I got better with that, but like even like having anxiety about like you never know. You think about this person that was playing this stuff, and a couple of days later, we at their funeral. You know what I mean? So it's like I definitely in my life. I mean, like I said, I just turned 40 in April, so like for me, I'm not saying I definitely ain't saying I'm old. I got a lot of life to live, but at the same time, like it could be over. As soon as I close this laptop, something can happen. You know what I'm
man,
saying?
I just read this kid that plays in the league. I just saw him on my Facebook feed,
The
24 years
Cowboys.
old. Yes. I'm like, y'all, we need to be get about our business.
Because he didn't. I think he was a second year player, so he worked all his life, trained hard, in a season and a half, make it to the pros, and you gone now.
Right.
It's wild. So like, yeah, them big achievements is good, but like focus on really what really matters in life.
And it's never, ever, ever too late.
Yeah,
Ever. It's never too late until it's too late.
yeah.
But if you got up this morning, I saw someone say you wake up every morning with a chance and a choice. So it's like we gotta decide every day: are you gonna make a choice to take a chance on yourself? Because today is all you know that you got. So,
For sure, for sure, for sure. I like
yeah,
that.
man.
So Rent, like I'm not too familiar with Rent, and I never watched it or a play or a movie or I've heard of it. So
Mm-hmm.
when you got the role, you say you didn't know too much about it, but like,
Right.
did you when you checked out the script or whatever? Did you like start just like, oh, this is a cool story or whatever? Like, because I still don't know too much about that. So like, how
When I
did you?
checked out the script, yeah, man, it was the same thing, man. It was like, how do you value your life? How do you value other people's lives? Are you serving people? It's been a lesson, man, throughout my whole adult life. It's like everything can go.
Mm-hmm,
All the stress you got about what's coming or what's going or whatever else, you might want to pay attention to whatever it is you want to do and
mm-hmm.
let all that stuff be what's going to be, because in the end, it works out how it's supposed to work out anyway.
I believe that. I believe that. Right, wrong, or different.
Right. Right.
it, yeah, I do believe that. So, being an actor, tell me some other roles you have. Is that the only play that you acting opportunities you had, or how many
Yeah,
more?
as far as like big acting stuff, that's the only real like the acting stuff that I really did outside of just being a musician. Because before then, it was just music.
Okay,
I was into just touring and playing with my band and stuff like that.
that's what's up. I like that. So, so let's talk about your band. What was your band called? I'm going in circles now, but I did want to touch on that a little bit. You was talking about getting the band.
Yeah, so my band was called the Troy Horne Band, and then there was one called Moses, which is named after my dad. So we did that for a little bit, and yeah, that was a fun time, man. Toured, played on multiple stages, got to kind of work with alongside Steve Miller and Government Mule and those
Cool,
guys.
cool.
That was
That's what's
cool.
up.
Those dudes, man. The beautiful thing about that was finding out there are levels to this thing. It's like some people play, but them dudes, man, they play for real.
For
They
sure.
play their instruments for real.
That's what's up. I like that a lot. Sometimes, I mean, been in the wheelchair. I guess I couldn't maybe do the tour life. I'd be exhausted. I'd be like, I'm ready to go home. I'm not having no fun. But like, I guess that tour life got to be. exhausting, but you probably got so many stories of being on the road and just enjoying. Like it's probably like the most fun, miserable. I don't know. I'm not saying miserable, but like cramped, like uncomfortable, all of the above. Being on tour, probably. But you come back with so many good stories, though.
You do. But yeah, it's like the one thing I learned about being professional musician and actors, like the work, man. The work is unbelievable. People,
Mm-hmm.
we get to see the glory part, the wonderful end part. The work is the part that I wish more people could see
Yeah,
because that's how you get there. It's not comfortable. It's fun sometimes, and the blessing is you get to do what you love. But the work is something.
something else. I like that a lot,
Man.
man. But you got to keep the book in. Here's the thing. We go back to figure it
Of
out.
course, you gonna
Let's
work
figure.
for somebody.
Yeah, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
nobody. But here's the thing: at the life lesson, nobody cares what you're going through. Nobody cared when you got a show. Nobody cared. They want you to put their show on. They don't care if you can't sing it in this key or whatever like that. They want you to figure it out. They pay money
Say
to see
that. Say that.
you.
Say
They,
that. That's
they
like
pay
the
money.
yes. No,
So
exactly. Nobody cares. Do your job.
for sure. Oh man, as we're talking, I just hit you up on Wikipedia, so I've learned a little bit more about you. I was like, let me get that up because I just think I think it's cool, man. Like I said, you remind me of a buddy of mine. Like he's one of my best friends now, man. He's a musician. I met him at Lee University. He's a musician. He loves to act. Matter of fact, I believe acting was probably his first love. Like, but
Mm.
he did so much music that even now we will sit somewhere and people are like, oh, I seen you win this award, and he got like an Actor of the Year award for one of these award shows, and he posted on his
Nice.
Facebook, and we sitting there like, I didn't know you act because it's like you only see the musician side of him. Now I'm best friends with him, so I know a lot more about him, and I pay attention when he's talking. So,
Yeah.
but he loves to act. That's like one of his passions right there is to act. Singing. He loves to sing and things like that. But he was on American Idol. Um, I got to meet him because one of my best friends growing up, they were cool, and so I got to um, be around him a little bit. They was in the
Mm-hmm.
fraternity. Eventually, I wasn't part of. I was an honorary in that fraternity, so I got to see them and hang out with them, and now in our later life, like we got cool and we became like best friends. Like so he still goes out on tour and stuff like that. He's about to go on a little tour, mini tour for
Nice.
I think London. He's going out to London for a Christmas tour. So that's my buddy. I see him pretty much every day. So like it's weird when he go. Like who do I hang out with now? I just hang out with my boys. But yeah, he does that, and like I said, I got to see him in Nashville a couple months ago
Mm-hmm.
with his couple called Gettys, and they write worship songs, Christian worship songs.
Nice.
So they're from Ireland and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So he's with them. So when they go out tours and stuff like that, he usually is one of those ones that travel with them and stuff like that. So we've
Good.
got to meet some cool people with them to be at the stage, and they're all like Irish and they're funny. Like them Irish, like London people, like British, Irish, they all funny to me, man. Like their humor is funny. I love watching like TV shows of them. So um, that kind of culture, I love it. I just can't drink like they drink. So, but
Mm.
they drink a lot. I don't know if you drink enough, but you know, when I'm in the mood, I will. But I'm not really a drinker. Like if I say no, my no is no. If I'm want to drink, I drink. But like I'm not necessarily a drinker like that. So I said a handful. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. My show is kind of raw, so like sometimes I forget what I'm saying. Like
Oh
I
no,
show the
you
human
good.
side. I show the human side of it. But I love doing this, man. This is my passion, man, and I love talking to people like you. Like people bring value to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like you did a lot, but like
100%.
just the fact that saying like hey, figure it out. Like it's we keep going back to that, but it's like it may be sound a little harsh sometimes, but like figure it out.
And the reason why you have to is because everyone's puzzle is different. And I got that from Kobe Bean as well. He's like, everyone's puzzle is different. So you can take advice and some of it might work, some of it might apply. But at the end of the day, your puzzle is totally different than everybody else's. So
For
on
sure.
some level, you have to figure it out. You can
Hmm.
take those stuff and try to apply it and try to put it in, and maybe the piece will fit and whatever, but at the end of the day, you have to put your own puzzle together.
You really do, man. Like I said, me being in the wheelchair, I'm talking a little bit about myself right now, but like
Mhm.
all my life, I didn't like I wasn't baby to pacify because I was in a wheelchair. You
Mhm.
know, it's funny. I joke about that. My mom was like, "You got two strikes. You're back and you're in a wheelchair." But she's telling me that like, but I understand like, not she's not making it about color or anything like that, or
Right, right.
but she's telling me she's like, "Hey, nobody, I love you. I'm your mama, but when you get out that road, they're gonna treat you like a regular person. You're a
Man,
regular person. You got to do what you got to do to survive." So even now in my life, like, Luke, why you ain't ask? I'm like, because I'd rather do it on my own. I'd rather try to figure it out on my own.
mm,
So my brother be like, look, I know if I was to call my brother and ask for help, he know that I need help because I didn't try to figure it out already. I didn't
right,
try to,
right.
and so it's like if I ask him, hey, I need some. It doesn't happen that often, but hey, I need some help. He know I need help
Right,
because I didn't try 100 things already before I even hit him
right,
up. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So it's like
right.
it was always instilled in me to figure it out, to do what I got to do. I may have your help, but I know Troy, if you like, hey, if you ever need help, hit me up.
Right.
I don't want to just hit you up because I don't want that to be a slippery slope. So I feel like every time I need help, I'm gonna hit. Let me hit Troy up. Troy got me. He gonna bail
Right,
me out. No, I want Troy to know I didn't try 100 things before I hit you up
right,
and ask for
right.
help. Because you don't want to help people that ain't trying to help themselves out. You may not mind, but you like, look, try to figure it out before you hit me up. I got you, but figure it out.
Because you get better. It's like it
Yeah.
makes your life better when you figure
Mm,
things out. You feel better
mm,
about yourself. The world receives and perceives you differently. It's a win-win when you put things. It's like that kid, when the kid's like sitting there struggling with a puzzle and you or whatever, you want to help them and you see the answer. You know
mm,
how to help them do it. But man, when they put it together themselves, the pride and the joy they get,
mm.
we all get that at all stages of life.
It's unmatched. It's unmatched. Yeah.
It is
I,
unmatched.
I like that now. And even now, man, my desire, I be on disability. My desire is to not live off disability. So
Right.
I'm 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 in the process now where I started a cleaning business. I'll just contract.
Okay.
I get the job and I contract it out.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Leading up to it, like I'm good, but I love them dopamine hits, and there's times where I've been discouraged, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm in over my head.
Yeah.
But I allow myself 5 minutes to be discouraged, and I pick myself right back up and keep going.
Yes. Sit in it for a good 5 to 10 minutes. Sit in it.
Hmm.
Feel it. Know what it
Hmm.
feels like. Now we got to
Hmm.
get up.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we did that. We did that part. Get up and let's go.
Hmm. And
Yes.
that's it. And that's what I learned, like on this self healing journey. Like a lot of people don't sit in that negative energy. Sometimes you got to sit in it for a minute and be like, all right, let's go.
Exactly. They like to dance or avoid it, and let's not talk about this. Let's not deal with that. Let's just be positive all the time. It's like, look, you have to, you have to sit in it for a second. That's part of the journey. Going around is only hurting you. You have to go through it, and you have to sit in it for a
Hmm.
minute. Feel what it feels like. Now, after you've done that, now we can go.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I'm like, I learned that was one of my first things like that impacted me. Like, hey, sit in that discomfort, you know, sit in it. So I sit in it I may give myself a set a timer, you know,
Hey,
but sit in it.
yes.
You understand it. You realize that you don't want to sit in no more. Like, hey, let me get up. Let me try to do something. So
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do,
That's
man.
our
But
mama though.
hmm,
That's our mamas though. How many
hmm,
times your mama say, "Look, okay, I'm gonna give you 5, 10 minutes, and then I need you to come out this room and come figure this out or to
yeah,
handle it." Right?
yeah, for sure. You know, I guess we don't understand it when we're younger, but as adults, and you really on that journey, that healthy living, you're like, look,
Yes.
man, I gotta sit here. I don't care. I know, like, whatever. But I'm gonna sit in this, and I'll learn how to do that. And once I'm ready to go, I'm good. So,
Right. Right.
um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I desire not to be on disability. Not that it isn't wrong. If you need to be on it, you need to be on it. But I don't want to be on it. You
Which
know
is
what I'm
what you
saying?
want, right? You want
Yeah,
something different.
yeah. And you know, my prayer, and when I pray to God, is like you talked about, like family members dying and things like that, and people. It don't have to be family members, but people in your life that pass away. You know, I got a couple nephews. I got, I don't have the kids myself, but hey, man, I want to see them grow up. Like my oldest nephew just turned 15 last Friday. You know, I don't get to see him that often. So like doing this job, I can do it remotely, so I can go hang out with my family, but I got to get established. So it's like I want to
Yeah.
get to the point where like, hey, I'm gonna chill up there. I'm gonna go to DC and hang out with y'all for a couple weeks, or a week, or a weekend. Like I can only do it a weekend, but I'm gonna go up there. But I'm gonna go up there a little bit more. I want to see my family a little bit more.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that money will help me out with that. But ultimately, like I'm my own man at the end of the day. You know, I don't want to live
Yeah.
off there. I don't want to be in nobody's pocket. Like I just want to make my own money.
Right.
So,
Right.
but that's my desire. So I
I think
do
that's a
that.
lot of people. It's like we want to be able to do for ourselves, on whatever level that is for us. And I think, you know, whatever that looks like, that's what you want. So it's like we got to
Mhm.
honor that inner calling to whatever it is that we want.
Mhm. Are you a spiritual person?
I am. I am. Yeah.
How does that play a part in your life?
One of the things that I've learned on that spiritual journey is for me is that I've learned that everything that I see that bothers me in someone else, it
Mhm.
bothers me in them because it's something I need to fix in myself. So if I see like, why does this person not do, like, whoa, why do you not do? Why
Mhm.
is this person afraid to, whoa, why are you afraid to?
Mhm.
Why don't they finish this? Well, why don't you finish? It's like the minute you start looking, and that was a spiritual thing I learned. It was like every time you see something out there that's like making you from someone you know, whatever that's bothering you, there's
Mhm.
something in you that recognizes that. So you need to, instead of trying to fix it in them, fix it in yourself first.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I recently this summer started. Uh, three of us. We sit under a tree at night or whatever, and we sit under a tree, and that tree has become our safe space where we can talk about anything. And recently, somebody was talking to us about trees and the
Mm.
benefits. You know, you talk about tree hugging, like you ain't actually got to hug the tree, but like touch the tree. You know what I'm saying? And he'd be grounded. He was talking. He was passionate about it. It was like, man, that tree is doing some things. Like he's confirming some things that we didn't know. Well, I didn't know. I'm gonna just say that I didn't know.
Mm.
And I was like, man, this summer's been hard. There's been a lot going on, but we sat on this tree, and it's like my anxieties went away. Like this tree has been my safe space. And like I'm a spiritual person already, but like learning about that it blessed me about
Yeah.
trees
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So
Yeah, there's energy. They have energy, and I know people think it's weird or crazy, but I can tell you, man, for me, just touching the ground, whether it's, with my hands, feet, whatever,
mhm,
as a regular practice, you can feel the energy from
mhm,
the earth, from whatever. And it's like your body can feel it.
Mm.
it's life changing. Like you said, the peace that you're getting from just being around, it's something we don't do enough of. I think that's why
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us stress.
And so it's like bad, like so. I love the tree. I learned some, and I want to do some more research on that and things like that. But it was like, man, it was just confirming. Well, I have a girlfriend, and she's into all of that stuff. She got the plants and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like in my apartment, I got plants all over the place. That I did that before she got
Mm-hmm.
around. But
Yeah.
that tree has been a very a much needed blessing in my life. Um, become a safe space for it.
Yeah.
I'm a cigar smoker too, so I can sit there and smoke. I smoke my cigar,
Nice.
chill, and I started smoking cigars a couple of years ago, and that's helped my anxiety too. Like it helps me forget about my problems. It helps me live in the moment because a cigar. When you smoke a cigar, you say, "Oh, this gonna take me at least 45 minutes to smoke, 2 hours." So
Mm-hmm.
you can't sit there and say, "I got to leave in 30 minutes." Like you can't rush a cigar.
Right.
So it taught me to live in that moment and cherish the moment that you in, especially with a good conversation, man. Like if you were in Cleveland, like I live in Cleveland, Tennessee, if you were like around and we could have met like for a cigar, I'd be like, "Hey, Troy, let's go meet for a cigar or something like that." Because I do a lot of my podcasts sometimes with a cigar. I go to the cigar lounge and record a podcast up there. And it is cool. Like the benefit, the health benefit, I say I don't care. It has health benefits for me. Just to have a meaningful conversation with a cigar and enjoy
Mm-hmm.
yourself, like it helps me out so much. You know, I just enjoy it, man, and I learned it. So I have a little part time job smoking cigars give me that opportunity. So that even doing my cleaning business, that's gonna help me out. You know,
Right.
so I'm just like I'm here for it. I love cigars. I'm like I told somebody I never quit. Doctor can tell me to stop. I'm like I'm not gonna stop because uh, what it does for me, I think it's a great thing. You get to know people. I've talked to people in my life that I would never talk to. If it weren't for cigars, we never would have had a conversation. But got a peek in their life.
So that's
You
could
know,
you go to the lounge or how does that work? Just because
go
you.
go to the lounge. I get to go to the lounge. I live like 2 blocks away. My girl smokes cigars too, so we can sit there outside, go out there, just smoke a cigar, and just chill. So
So I heard that you don't actually breathe it in. You kind of hold it in your mouth and then you put it out. Is that how that works?
you know, you kind of just taste it, like you inhale. You don't inhale, but you just take it in. And you blow it out, but you can get some notes and things like that. I'm not good with it like that, but I just know a good cigar.
Say notes. What do you mean by notes? Like, what does that mean?
Like you know, when people do wine tastings. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting taste of cherry or this and that. With cigars, you can do that too. Like, or they're aged in, like you can get a spice, or
Mm.
you can get like a cocoa or something. Like they're the way they age. My tongue is not that good. Where I can just sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm tasting. I can taste like spice, like something like that. Like I could. It's a little
Right.
spicy or something like that. But like some people like, oh, I'm tasting a little vanilla. I'm not. I don't know it like that. But some people have a very their palate is great where they can recognize that.
Mm.
I'm not that good. I just know when I'm smoking a good cigar, I'm smoking a good cigar.
All right. Okay.
So, um, but like I said, I have a lot of my friends right now are in the cigar community, and I just love it, man. It's cool. Some of these people got their own businesses and things like that, and it motivated me to do something better with my life. So,
Nice.
you know,
Nice.
I'm
Motivated
with
you to
it. So,
get your own cleaning business.
yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And one of my friends, uh, has his own insurance company, and I got my liability through him. You know, so it's like no, I want to support like I support local all the time, but like if you're a friend of mine, I'm gonna support you just because you're a friend. You know, they say in life strangers support you before your friends. I don't want my friends to say that Luke never supported it. You know what I mean? I never say it like Luke supported me. Maybe not monetarily sometimes, but when I had the opportunity to support you, I did. I like that. I'm not going to hold too much of your time, but I see that you are an author, right?
Yes, yes. So I've written a book. I don't know if I have it around here. Anyways, I've written a book called Middle Management, also that's coming out here in probably out by now, but it's coming out here, and it's about navigating the second half of life.
Mm,
Because I went through that moment of where you've supported your kids, you've done all the things that you're supposed to do to be responsible, and then you're like, you wake up and you're 40, 45, 50 or whatever, and you're like,
mm.
okay, there's a lot of life left, and what do I want to do with the second half of life? And I think it's an interesting moment. It's just a little bit of a struggling moment, and I had that as well as myself. And so when I got through it, I wanted to share that process, hopefully that it will help someone else navigate that space a little easier. So that's the book.
That I like that. That makes sense, man. I mean, I'm a. You said it's middle management.
Yeah, it's called Middle Management. It's available on Amazon, and I have this free download that I've created for people. I don't know if you can see that or whatever, where I kind of walk through some of the first 5 steps.
Okay.
That's over at middlemanagement.bio, and you can just get that free download, middlemanagement.bio, and kind of get you more for free. That's
Yeah,
something that resonates
I
with you.
I like that a lot because I think in my life, just hitting 40, I'm thinking about like the rest of my life. I don't think
Right? Yeah.
I just think because in another 40 years I'll be 80 years old. So like in another 50 years, so it's just like what do I want to do? How do I want to live my life? Like I spent so much time in my life like not knowing who I was, my identity, and
Hmm.
being in a wheelchair and things like that. That like now I have an identity, and sometimes in a sense, sometimes I feel like I just started life. You know,
Mm.
so it's like the problem is that I'm 30, 40 now. I'm 40 years old. Like, what do I do with that? Like, I feel like I wasted so much. So I go back and forth. Like sometimes in my head, I feel like I wasted a lot of time in my life. But then it's like, nah, you still lived a good life. But like, I don't know. It's weird. But like, I want
Oh.
to in my life now, like work hard for what I got, for what I want, and just not necessarily identify myself, but like, how do I pivot and like I said, manage those middle
The
years
middle
of
part of
life,
your
40,
life.
50,
Yeah,
60.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like these are the best years, like,
100%.
of your life.
Yeah. Because
Because,
now you know all that stuff you thought you knew when you're 20. You
mm-hmm,
live life, and you actually have the answers now. You actually know
mm-hmm,
what not to do.
mm-hmm,
And a lot of times we spend these 40, 50 years, and I've been a victim of it too, trying to teach everyone, oh, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. You need to turn to yourself and say, this is what I need to do, and start
mm-hmm,
living the second half for yourself.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I'm with that. So, like, how long did it take you to write the book?
It took me about a year, year and a half, because I was going through the process as I was writing it. Because
Okay.
I didn't know if it was gonna work. I was like, I'm writing these stuff down, and if it works, then I'll publish it. If it doesn't, then I won't.
For sure.
So on the other end, I was like, I actually know what I want to do. This actually worked. I used this person, this thing, and that thing to get here. Here's how I got through it. So hopefully it'll help you.
So, if you tell me to read a book, I read the book. But like, the answer's probably in the book. But what does the second half of your life look like to you?
For me, it's writing and sharing this information out there in the world with people who don't have that resource, really. Because
Mm-hmm,
doing the research, I was like, man, there are no resources for what I want to do, and I'm gonna keep it 100. There are no resources for what I want to do from people who have had my life experience or who look like me. So
mm-hmm,
I was like, because I was reading these stories, it's like I have this book here. uh, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever read this book at all. Love the book. Great. I'm like, this was one of the first self-help books I ever read. But Napoleon Hill met with Andrew Carnegie in
Mm-hmm.
1920 and then went around and met with a bunch of other wealthy people in 1920. Nobody who looks like me
Yeah.
was going to meet with Andrew Carnegie 1920. So I can take all that information and go, yes, this is great, but it's like this. And pick yourself up, but there's a reality that I have that Napoleon Hill didn't have, and
Yeah.
so now I've got to edit every book I read. And I was like, I don't want the next generation to have to edit every book they read. In order to be that, I'm going to write the books that kind of give an experience of life that maybe someone who can't find a resource can read and identify with.
And I think that's I like that a lot. And I think like in these days, people that look like us are, I wouldn't say catching up.
We're waking up.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
I like that word a little bit better. Waking up, but also
You got to
catching
give
up.
yourself some
I would
permission.
still say catch up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would still say
You got to
catch
know
up.
we can do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think we have to wake up first, and then once we figure out like, hey, the world is ours as well, we can start catching up. How do we teach like, you know, the wealth of knowledge? Just, generational wealth comes from knowledge as well. Not just about money. So like, we're pouring into the next generations and generations that we would have this type of stuff. So
Yes.
that we didn't have. I got some people here. They're called 100 Black Men. They put on like empowerment, little empowerment things where they come on and they show Black people how to do stuff. They show, like, you want to get a house, buy a house. This is what you need. You should be saving this. Giving knowledge to our community. So we're not buying Jordans and things like that. Like, that money that you spend on Jordans, invest that. Like, if you got money to spend on Jordans, you can invest some money.
And then buy the Jordans on your
Yeah,
account.
yeah. Like, I'm not saying like don't buy the Jordans, but I'm saying sometimes be smart about what you're doing. Like, if you got the money to buy Jordans, buy the Jordans. I mean, invest in something.
Right.
But like, don't just waste your money and don't put it away. Like, do something. Be smart about what you're doing. Like, so I like that. I'm a big advocate of like, sharing wisdom and dropping knowledge to the next generations. Because like you said, they didn't look like us, so we're not gonna get it the way they got it. We got to get it the way we can get it.
And when you try to get it the way that they got it and it doesn't work, then you get frustrated and you think it's you. It's not you. You gotta understand their puzzle look different than yours.
Yeah.
And yeah, it worked for them, but you got to do something different.
You got to do something different. Uh, yeah. So that book's gonna help them figure it out. I'm gonna look it up. I may buy it. Just to support. Like I said, I like to support, man, and I definitely had a good conversation. But my last question, man, and I appreciate you for being on a podcast with me and talking to me.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. This has been good. It's been fun.
Yes, sir. Outside of just figuring it out, or you can expand on that. Just leave a nugget or gem or some type of knowledge to the audience.
Yeah. So Viola Davis says, "You are the love of your life," and that thing changed my life. And what that means is, for you have to learn to fall in love with yourself, because the only person who is never going anywhere, despite what you do, is yourself. No matter what happens, you're gonna always be with you. So, if I could tell anybody anything, you need to spend most of the time of this existence learning how to learning how to love you, and learning how to take care of you, period. Everyone else, what the Bible says, all these things will be added unto. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. But then God says the kingdom of God is within you. So you need to learn how to love you, and all the rest will be added.
Yeah.
So if anybody can get that, that's my one thing to share with anybody who's listening.
I definitely like that, and I'm like trying to hold my tongue because I can go on a whole nother tangent on that too. but I, but I'm like, it's about. I'm looking at my timer. It's just hitting an hour, so like I didn't want to hold you too much of you up, but I definitely enjoyed this
You're good. You're
conversation.
good.
Yeah,
Well,
for
thank you,
sure.
man. Thanks for having me. This has been fun.